Broadcasting from the Big Peach of Atlanta, Georgia. A show unfiltered, unscripted, raw. The Patriot Angle Podcast.
Hello, Joe. How are you, sir? Welcome back to the show. I've had you on before. I have you on actually as an exclusive episode, but we're going to miss live, and we're actually going to put it over to the platforms on audio, Spotify, and Amazon Music. So welcome back to the show. Thank you for taking your time to be part of the show. And as you heard, as I opened up the show, Joe, I want to get into this AOC segment. AOC was just about not too long ago, a couple of days ago actually, at a rally on the Lower East Side of Manhattan for abortion. She's trying to rally to try to tackle the Roe v. Wade thing. I thought that was over. I thought we were done talking about Roe v. Wade. I guess now AOC trying to bring it back into play. What's your thoughts on that, buddy?
First, Mike, thanks for having me on, man. I always appreciate being on either side of the media as I continue my journey of disclosing that all media is biased. And so as far as, and as you know, ripviews.com, we don't talk about our own specific views, but we will surely show what either sides are showing. And so if you look at the left right now, they're saying AOC, she's just a congresswoman. She got abused verbally when she was walking up the Capitol steps. She did not warrant anything that she got by that abuse. And abortion is a topic that probably shouldn't be left alone. It's one that they feel adamant about. And now we'll go to the right. It's over. It's over, right? It's over. The Supreme Court classified it as it's a state right now. The states decide whether abortion should be legal or not, and it should be done. And we believe on the right that we should stop talking about this. It's over. And AOC was a public figure, and she's open to criticism just like any other person is, just like Joe Biden is. And so whether you're on the left or the right, it doesn't really matter, but we're going to show you both sides at ripviews.com.
Well, Joe, since we're on this topic, and there's so much similarities of what we talked about on your show. I happened to be on Rip Views podcast last month, actually, with another gentleman, and to the abortion very, very well on his show. We, on both sides. I happen to support the right, the conservative view of politics, and this gentleman I spoke to, Sean, happened to represent the left. We had very, very different types of opinions, different thoughts, and I'm going to tell you guys, it got a little heated at the end. Even Joe over here in Rip Views, he was like, "All right, guys, all right, I gotta get the referee and call the match or something, But it's always interesting, guys, when you have different views and different opinions. Okay, now we're talking about the abortion thing, with AOC. She's rallying out in the low side of Manhattan just not too long ago, just a few days ago actually, and she had a big crowd, Joe, a big crowd, a lot of people getting behind AOC, and I can understand that. She's a young woman. She's a former bartender from Queens in the Bronx section. So I can understand. I can understand that. And the movement behind her, popular she has become since taking role of a congresswoman. But there's another story here. We'll get into a quick little bit. We're about to bring Joseph Leonard, my good friend from Detroit, on here in a moment here. With a heckler, literally, a lot of people are saying that he was harassing her on the Capitol Hill steps just the other day. Did you see that, Joe?
Yep, I saw that. And I'll start by going back to the podcast. Thank you very much for referencing that. One, Sean on the left is a good guy. He's a good man. And Mike on the right is a good man as well. So the whole point of Rip Views is that we understand that both sides are good. You're a good guy. Sean's a good guy on the left, and you guys had a great conversation amongst each other, and I really appreciated you being on our podcast. So thank you very much for that, Mike. Second, I saw that.
Yes.
And I saw the Capitol Steps news headline. And again, at Rip Views, if you go to the left, it's going to say, that wasn't a heckler. That was a sexual harasser. He talked about her ass. He talked about her having a nice rear end. He talked about he objectified her. If you go to the right, it was a heckler. He was just talking about how, she knows what she's doing. She's kind of being bombastic just to be bombastic. She says crazy shit like the new Green New Deal just because she knows it's going to get headlines. And so the right's going to say it was just a heckler because she's off the wall. And so he's going to be off the wall at heckling her. It contradicts each other. And that's why we should read both sides.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Joe, I want to get Joseph Leonard.
Sure.
Here on the panel here. We're going to get his opinion here because I'm sure Joseph has a lot of thoughts, a lot of views on this. Like I said, it's a fairly new news segment coming into social media. Of course, mainstream is touching on it a little bit. I've seen a story coming out of Breitbart News along with Politico. A lot of different platforms are literally voicing their own opinions and thoughts on this. But let's get Joseph Leonard here on the panel. Joseph, welcome, sir. How are you?
Hello, everyone.
Yes, sir. We're talking, obviously, you've heard of the Digital Green Room here on the show. We're talking about AOC, right? Just the other day, she was, what a lot of people are saying, possibly harassed by this heckler, by this man that happened to be the Capitol Hill steps just the other day. A lot of people saying he went too far, saying that, and I quote, look at that big Latino booty. She's my favorite Latino, which was the words, which we do have a sound clip in that we'll plug into the show momentarily, shortly after these views coming from you, sir. What's your thoughts on this, Joe?
Well, first thought is, how dare both of you? Did you not get the doctor, and for those only hearing audio, I'm doing doctor in air quotes, Jill Biden's memo? AOC is supposed to be referred to, I think, now as the New York burrito, and or maybe barista, because once she's out of Congress, the only thing she'll be qualified to do is go back behind a bar, which will probably be behind the bar at a Starbucks. That's if any Starbucks are left open due to them closing shops due to all the crime in blue urban centers in the no bail stuff. But frankly, the short of it is I think she got what she deserved. There are literal roving Hitlerian brown shirt mobs attacking people on the right. And Justice Kavanaugh was nearly assassinated. And yet AOC and the left are going to claim this minor heckling of a comedian was damn near a failed assassination attempt on her. And it's just absurd because, like Joe said, all media is indeed biased. Ridiculousness on the right, blowing it out of proportion. And on the left-wing loons, though, are all watching MSNBC and CNN and thinking, oh, my God, it was a failed assassination attempt in AOC because they can't get any balance anywhere.
Yeah, so I did see that. I did see that, Joe. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I do think it's so.
Yeah.
Sorry, go
Yeah,
ahead.
if I may step in. No, if I may step in. I did see how AOC, if you checked out her latest Twitter and her latest Instagram and TikTok crap that she's putting out on social media, saying that this man was saying mean things to me and this and that. You know, at the end of the day, we have to treat people like the regular people. Okay, just because you're a politician, it doesn't necessarily mean that the whole landscape changes. He said something. He was calling her out, saying something like, I quote, "Okay, this is my favorite Latino with a big booty." And in a way, in a sick society, mainly people would look at that as a compliment, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, well, again,
I'll have one point to say. The left would say Mitt Romney doesn't have to walk up the stairs and have someone talking about his ass as he walks up the stairs. The right, rightfully so. No one wants to talk about Mitt Romney's ass. And then the right also will say exactly what you're saying. This is a non-story. This is nothing. She's a public figure. She's a public figure. She signed up for this. This is what she signed up for by being a congresswoman, and so she's getting what she deserves. But it's very important to look at both sides.
well, number one, Mitt Romney is just one big ass.
I didn't mean Mitt Romney in that. Fair enough.
So thank you for being the straight man and setting that up for me. But
Well, at least hold on,
alternative here
Joseph.
really is MTG or Lowen Bobert, and look at all the shit they get. So please spare me this. You know, she got what she deserved. It was a comedian. It was funny. It was meant to be lighthearted. So, you know, until some of these on the left get it back and we deal with the whole thing, like Maxine Waters literally calling for people to be harassed at dinner and get in their faces. So don't give me this moral equivalence between like Maxine Waters and what this guy did.
Again, I don't talk about my own politics. I just show both sides.
No, but I'm just saying in general. I don't mean that at you. I don't. Yeah.
Well, Joseph, you know, we have Blake from Facebook saying that Ada's cute. I agree. She's kind of cute, but she's kind of a nut job too. So, you know.
Yeah.
Usually the cute ones are kind of, you know what I mean?
But I don't aim that at Joe.
No, you're good.
In general, when you literally have Antifa mobs like Hitlerian black shirts roaming the streets and harassing and intending to intimidate Supreme Court justices, there is absolutely no moral equivalence to what this comedian did.
Yeah. I'm with you.
Yes,
I mean, I share both sides.
Truth right there, yeah. But let's see, guys. I want to plug in a video of we actually have a video from the man that was on the Capitol steps. You know, now they're saying he harassed AOC. Check this clip out, guys.
Congresswoman AOC is calling out the creepy guy who hassled her on the steps of the Capitol.
You look very beautiful in that dress. You look very sexy. Look at that booty on AOC. That's my favorite big booty Latina.
The firebrand liberal New York Democrat was heading to work with an aide and her fiancé and dog when she was heckled. She turned to confront the guy, then flashed him a sarcastic peace sign.
Want to do a little selfie?
I love it. My favorite AOC. Nice to meet you, AOC. Look how sexy she looks in that dress.
AOC immediately went on social media and called it a deeply disgusting incident.
See this guy right there? Right there. When I was walking up, he said, hey, look at that big ass, look at that big juicy booty, this Latina, like whatever, you know, all the bunch of racist, sexist stuff.
She pointed out that it happened in front of a Capitol police officer who she says did nothing to help her.
It's really hard and it's really sad.
You know, again, AOC is glad this happened. Let's not play games here. She is going to fundraise off this, and her ignorant followers will send her a bunch of money. Was it a bit creepy? Okay, that's a fine definition of it. Was it a bit harassing in a sexual way? Yeah, but again, you got to understand the context of this guy purposefully doing this in a tongue-in-cheek and a comedic way, completely different. And we hear no outrage from the left of an assassination attempt on Justice Kavanaugh and roving brands of brown shirts outside the SCOTUS houses. These are nowhere close to one another. It is illegal to intimidate a SCOTUS judge. They should be arrested. Now, should this guy be maybe charged and fined? Okay, I could live with that because, again, yes, Joe, I could see both sides. We can't let one side go and not deal with the other side. But let's not, again, leftist loons out there pretend
but Joe,
this was worse than what Antifa is doing.
Can I have one word,
Joseph,
Mike?
Joseph, 1 second, Joe. Hold on.
Yeah,
I'm going to give you the floor in a minute. 1 second. She was ready to take a selfie with this gentleman on the steps. And then she goes, literally hours afterwards when she gets back to her residence, wherever she lives, and says that these words, were racist, your common racist terms.
Well, the light bulb went on.
Hold on, Joseph. Joseph, 1 second. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, so what I'll say from the left, what they're going to say, if actually we will actually, this will be one of the top 3 stories tomorrow on the Rip Views headline newsletter, is that a male would not have to deal with that as a congressman. They would not have to deal with the AOC is going through. And that's going to be the top thing of the left. She has an unjust barrier that males don't have to deal with. And you are deflecting by going to SCOTUS, and that you're avoiding the actual topic of the AOC by going to SCOTUS. I'll let you go. The right would say, fuck yeah, SCOTUS. We have a big problem right now. They should not be at their house. This is a big deal. Kavanaugh, the fact that we even know where Kavanaugh lives, the fact that we know where Clarence Thomas lives is a big issue. And that we have much bigger problems than AOC getting heckled on the Capitol steps. This is a non-fact. This is a non-story. And so we shouldn't even be talking about this, is what the right's going to say. So I just want to make sure we're clear about what either side's going to say as someone who literally studies this every day.
Let me give you the moral equivalence then. If you don't like I don't think it's a deflection. That we're talking about potential and real violence versus a heckler. That's the point here. That's the issue. The AOC went on over AOC's, the light bulb went on over her head when she got to the top of the steps and said, I can turn this into a major incident when, like you said, Mike, she was blowing it off and joking with him about having a selfie. She knew it wasn't fun. She knew it was a joke.
Yeah.
But let me point out, Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, if you want female to female, they literally get death threats on a daily basis. So spare me this moral equivalency stuff. A joke versus death threats is what we're dealing with. And again, I'm not saying you, Joe. I'm saying those on the left.
No, you're good. I agree. Female to female. You called it out.
That a fair comparison, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. Both.
Joe, is that fair?
Fair to me. I am a binary guy. I just look at the right and left. Yeah. So.
Guys, like I said, both Joseph and Joe here, Joe of Rip Views, and then Joseph Letter here. I'm just going to call you the both Joes here on the Patreon. Okay. This this is a woman that was shown smiling and waving with her hand out like that, folks, in the video. Right? She was smiling, she was giggling. Now, by someone that's smiling and as somebody with a normal mentality, she's understanding the joke, and she knows it was just a joke. He was like, hey, there's AOC, my favorite Latino with the big booty. I mean, it was a joke, folks. Plain and simple. Why is social media blowing it up? Why are they blowing it up? What, they want a view? They want a story? Is that how desperate mainstream is these days?
Well, that's because Joe used the word deflect. And this is like, remember Dr. Seuss Thing 1 and Thing 2? So I guess he's Joe 1 and I'm Joe 2. But anyway, until she realized later her numbnut followers, she can blow it up again with and blow it out of proportion and fundraise. And it's because they want to deflect from the actual threats of violence against women on the right, conservative women. The, oh God, the Candace Owen. She's not black. Like, she's the black face of white supremacy. Give me a break. The deflection is coming from the left, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, it's not a left or a right thing. I'm tired of hearing that, Joseph. I'm tired of hearing it's a right thing. No, it's a left thing. No, it's a right thing. No, it's neither. Why does it have to be a political party issue?
Because they make it such.
Right. Yeah.
It shouldn't have to be, but it becomes. AOC escalated it to such. I have to respond.
Yeah. I only talk about what the right side says and the left side says, and I think I've done that enough.
Well, I can post this here. One second, Joseph. I'm going to post this on social media, guys. I post this on all the live channels here. Post this actually on our Facebook channel. Literally saying that AOC says enough. That's what she's saying right now on her social media. Enough. Like the little kid that's getting upset at the carnival, right? She wants her popcorn. She wants her candy. She wants this. She wants that. When AOC says something, it's okay to AOC. But when somebody says something out in the general public, like you mentioned before on my show, Joseph, the snowflakes, they melt under pressure. Yeah. Literally. That's what we're seeing from this woman.
Well, that's, again, like you said, AOC says enough. AOC gets to have the final word and the final say. And like I say, I insist, I will not back down. It is deflection. She is happy such an incident occurred because now they get to try to focus on that. They get to rile up the emotional, hysterical snowflakes on the left and deflect from BLM riots, looting, and arson in the streets. And threats to actual Supreme Court justices and Lauren Boebert and Marjorie Taylor Greene, Myra Flores that just got elected, that Jill, I guess, considers a taco, but she's a conservative taco, so she don't.
Oh, the Taco Gate,
Taco Gate.
We had to hear that earlier this week with the Taco Gate, right? That's the next talking point on social media. Taco Gate with Dr. Jill Biden, right? Where she came out.
That's why I jokingly earlier, I think it went over both of your heads, referred to AOC as the New York City burrito.
Yeah.
The left will say a burrito is a nice mishmash of a lot of different cultures, and it makes perfect sense as to why the Latino community would be considered a burrito. It's a nice combination of people. The right would say, what the fuck was that? That was that
basically
you can't compete. Yeah, you can't compare people to tacos.
I guess I'm Polish sausage, pizza, and sauerkraut because
Yeah.
I'm German, Polish, and Italian. So I'm kielbasa and sauerkraut and pizza.
I'm a
Yeah.
hamburger.
Oh yeah. I want to say thank you to Random Hero of Twitch for that URL. Thank you very much. We're gonna plug it in there with the band video from the Alex Jones show. I remember seeing. Is that still up? If Random Hero is still in the chat panel on Twitch, please comment back on that question I just asked. I remember seeing that video that is now banned with the band through the Alex Jones show. I do remember seeing that.
And let me say, I'm not a big Alex Jones fan, so believe me, you want to be tuned into Michael and the Patriot Angle, not Infowars.
Yeah. Well,
and I don't say that to I don't say that to suck up to the host. I really mean when I say that.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So Joseph, let me.
Tip you, Joseph. I thank you very much. I'm going to say something before I give Joe here the floor again. I was a big fan of Alex Jones in his early years, but then as he got into the current years that he's in now, he's more of a turncoat. I think he is a turncoat. He doesn't support what he's actually preaching. But go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, sorry, Michael. Mike. Joseph, I as someone who just fascinates by political bias, you say Fox News is too left now, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, I've said that while we were in the green room before the show, so people know the inside background, what you're referring to. They have moved to the left since the Murdoch sons took over the network. So
thank you. This fascinates me. This is what keeps me up at night. And then you think InfoWars is too gone. So what is the perfect middle in your mind?
I think, there's a new network called News Nation, which I think is fair and down the middle. I think, but they're an up-and-coming network. They don't have a whole lot of viewers yet, and they're not even a full 24-hour news station. They have a lot of old Western movies or whatnot. But I think News Nation is straight reporting. They don't have a lot of opinion shows which are left or right, which brings a lot of the bias. But Alex Jones, I think, is just a shock jock. He
Howard Stern
says, Howard Sternish. He purposefully says wild shit just for some ratings and fundraising. So I'm not a big fan. Like Michael said, when he first started, I think he was trying to deal in real things that were labeled conspiracy theory that were actually had a lot of evidence to them. And we can, argue, I don't know if we want to go down that road. The Biden laptop. We all know damn well that's real. And Bob Alinsky, and there's a guy in jail that was the Biden family partner that's behind bars now, both corroborated the information that's on that laptop. But yet, still to this day, they call that conspiracy theory. Now, if Alex were to stick with stuff like that, debunking conspiracy theory as conspiracy fact, because there are actual conspiracies going on out there, like the Biden selling us out to China for decades now. But he's gone off the deep end, and like Joe said, Howard Sternish, I think he says a lot of things just to get a rise out of people, just to be wild, just to try to get eyeballs on his channel. So he's not a serious person. Now,
sure.
At least MSNBC and CNN, they try to be serious. It's a definite left-wing slant on everything, but they take the information that they're presenting seriously. It isn't all a joke, like a lot of that Jones stuff.
Yeah, Joseph, this goes into what we were talking about like a couple nights ago on the show with that gentleman from Twitch. that guy Meeser that was going back and forth, back and forth. I mean, literally, blowing up the panel. Like half the out of his mouth was just like idiocy. I mean,
I think he was. I'll repeat like I did the other day for those who didn't see the show. I think he was just a nut, a troll. He was a contrarian. If you said black, he'd say white. If you said up, he'd say down. It didn't matter what we were talking about or what he said 2 seconds earlier. He would contradict himself often within the chat that we were seeing. So, I think he was just a troll.
Yeah.
It looks like we have serious people involved on Twitch today, thankfully.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, we got some people coming in. We got some people coming from Facebook as well as your channel. I see a couple to Joe's panel on Facebook. Thank you very much for those who are viewing us on Joe's Facebook, as well as Joe's YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Please hit those comments.
I do want to clarify because you mentioned my channel and we are on my Facebook account. To be clear, I am on Facebook under an alias Martin Keeler because I was permabanned under my legal name that was on that account since like 2006 until 2018. Yeah. July the 4th of 2018, in the heat of the midterm discussions then, they permabanned me. So we are on Martin Keeler Facebook.
Joseph, I'm not going to...
my alias.
Yeah, I'm not going to attack you for an alias name or a stage name. Like you mentioned Howard Stern. Joe mentioned Howard Stern just briefly, right? Where if you go back to 2009, Howard Stern was ripping on Dr. Michael Savage, saying that, another Jew afraid of using his real name. Oh, he doesn't want to use his real name because his real name is Michael Wiener. He wants to go by Michael Savage. I guess he doesn't want to be a Wiener. He wants to be a Savage.
Well, and to mention Howard Stern again, I'm from Detroit, folks. We know Howard Stern better than anybody because we know him when he got his start at W4 Country Station in Detroit. So we know his antics well here in Detroit. He started.
He had a lot of ties. He had a lot of ties with Joe City there in Chicago. I think he was in Chicago.
Yeah. So I'm from D.C. originally. I'm from Washington, D.C. originally, which is why I'm into politics. And Howard Stern is no different than everyone on the left and right. You have to be polar. You have to be extreme, or else you don't get eyeballs. And that is exactly why your politicians that you favor on the right are extremely bombastic, whether it's Ted Cruz or DeSantis or Trump, or if it's left like AOC and everyone on the left. I mean, Pelosi. I mean, you have to be extreme. And Stern understood that, and Stern got that, and he harnessed that.
Well,
and I think that's the whole point.
Yeah, Stern learned that from Don Imus. Now, I absolutely love Don Imus. May he rest
without
in peace.
a doubt.
His cattle ranch for underprivileged and disabled kids is still operating. Thank God for that. Don Imus was a good man. Howard Stern is just an asshole. But yeah, Don Imus knew that. But he was like the late night comedians used to be, like a Jay Leno or a Craig Ferguson. He would attack or joke about both sides. Now, I can appreciate that, Joe. I can't appreciate one-sided leftism garbage like we get out of the late-night shows today.
Hey, you guys keep being extreme, and it's going to keep Rip Views alive. That's all I need to know. Is you guys be extreme on the left and right, and I have my newsletter every day. So,
I mean,
extremism
Joseph,
is what I like.
Yeah, Joseph, if you follow Rip Views, I mean, he puts out some tremendous content on Instagram. Guys, you can follow him on Facebook. He's now on TikTok. I mean, guys got some good content. That's why I appreciate him coming on and giving his views and thoughts. But let's get back. We're getting off the topic here. Let's get back to this AOC thing with Jesse Waters just the other day. saying that AOC is getting into some very dangerous territory. Yeah, with her nonsense, guys. Check this clip out.
We've all been betrayed. Luke found out the hard way when the villain he was fighting turned out to be his dad.
I am your father. No. It's not true. That's impossible.
Sometimes it's a friend, maybe even your closest confidant, who stabs you right in the back.
No. What you did, I made the whole thing up. It's Dwight.
Cool. The Sebring's cool.
Oh, do you?
Do
you like it? How dare you? How dare you, Dwight?
Don't fire me.
I don't know if I can trust you.
You can't, but I promise I'll never betray you again.
Well, Democrats now have someone they need to worry about. And this time, Democrats don't even need to turn around. They can see the knife going in. And it's one of their power players, an up-and-comer, and a darling of the left. AOC. She's already on thin ice after not endorsing Joe.
President Biden, he is saying he's going to run again in 2024. Will you support him?
You know, if the president chooses to run again in 2024, I mean, first of all, I'm focused on winning this majority right now. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But I think if the president has a vision, then that's something certainly we're all willing to entertain and examine when the time comes.
That's not a yes.
Yeah, you know, I think we should endorse when we get to it. But
See, now AOC is kind of starting to sound like a defector. She's saying a lot more.
Yeah. Is she going rogue, Joseph? Is she going rogue?
I don't know. Yeah. Hey, welcome back, Joe. We kind of lost you there for a second. Yeah, she's gone a little rogue. But again, like Joe was saying, I mean, that's part of her spiel and part of her shtick. Not everybody is over the top and bombastic. And let me be clear for anyone tuning in today that may not have seen me on your show before. I'm a conservative. I'm only a Republican because the fascocrats are socialists, commies, and fascists. JFK today would be a Republican. Hell, they wouldn't even allow Bill Clinton in their party now. So, to be fair, I'm not a Republican hack, apologist.
Joseph, we thought on that on a few episodes back. The late JFK would be a Republican, probably more conservative than a Republican. The man expressed high conservative values and views. I mean, but you got to look at the Democratic Party. The Democratic Party was looked very differently during JFK. You know, they weren't radicalized. The Democratic Party have become radicalized today. Extremely radicalized. They act more as tyrants than anything. You know?
Which is a big part of my book, Terror Strikes Coming Soon to a City Near You. And you mentioned we're on in Japan. That's great. I want to get a plug in. I have a Tokyo, Japan chapter, so I hope you'll check out my book. But my book is not just about foreign terrorists that hate America. American left hates America now and wants to tear down America and destroy America and turn us into something else. One of those shithole countries they would not go to.
All I'll say is, Joseph, I tweet bias alerts is what I call them when either side says something that's a little too gone off the reservation. And I'll tell you, the responses I get are extreme on both sides. I have responses from the right that I'm just like, holy shit, what is this person talking about? And I have responses from the left where I'm like, you're a fascist, you're all sorts of stuff. Like, and it's both sides are equally extreme. To say one side is more extreme than the other, I think is where I would challenge you.
Let me repeat. What did I say? I said I am a conservative, only a Republican because of the Democrat Party gone so far to the left and off the deep end. We are a center-right nation. We are a republic, not a democracy. So that's why I come down where I am. But I agree with you. There are some nut jobs and snowflakes also on the right who only have their emotional, hysterical feelings rather than facts, logic, and reason. So let me agree with you. I can understand you're getting some nuttiness from the right. There are some fucking lunatics on the right side, too.
Just say it lightly.
Is that fair
crazy.
now?
Yeah.
You feel a little better towards me now?
I'm with you.
Yeah. I mean, you got the man drinking a Bud Light on the show, so, he's getting into it. But, guys, I wish I could plug this in. Billy, which is a network platform that's mainly use a lot of broadcasts overseas in Japan and other countries. I see the comment coming in here on my panel, which is a private panel. I wish I could plug in, but Tahiki? Taka? I can't pronounce the name. I do apologize. It's a Japanese name. Is basically saying that American policies are invoking on a I'm not even as try to pronounce that word because it's going into Japanese, but I think I know what he or she is referring to. It's basically what they're saying is America is basically transforming into a socialist Cuba. And I can see that very, very clearly.
They're trying to turn it into that. Yeah.
Yeah. Hold on. In English subtitles is saying that Michael and Joseph and Joe on the show today. We do appreciate you, but we don't have the same conflicts here in Japan as the United States. By far, Japan, the superpower of the world, is not expressing any of this garbage. Japan, maybe.
Yeah.
Not
Japan just had their former ambassador shot, for the record.
Well, they're going through a little turmoil and stuff like that. But I'm talking about.
I'm just saying, it's just smooth waters.
Joe. I'm talking about with politics being divided in the middle. They're not seeing any.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Maybe China, but not Japan. But yeah,
it was the Prime Minister Shinzo Abe that was assassinated. But yes, Japan doesn't have the woke tardism going on there like we have here, and I discuss in my book.
So I don't like to talk about my own politics, but I kind of will call this out. The fact that you add tardism at the end of that's kind of fucked up.
It's a bit bombastic, sure.
Yeah, but that's an offense to people that have special needs, in my mind.
I know plenty who have them.
So why would you say that?
People are retarded in many terms. That's only a pejorative to snowflakes who melt over terminology and have to deflect from the actual topic.
All right.
Okay. It gets a little heated, guys. We do understand, some people express their views differently, and we have to look at that differently than other people. We do understand, guys. I label my show unfiltered. I don't put it there because it looks cute and nice on a picture. It's unfiltered, guys. That this is what makes American politics in a weird way special. We express ourselves.
Now I'd like to ask Joe, are you pretending to tell me no one on the left uses that term?
No, I'm not saying that. I just don't agree with it, just like I don't agree with the N-word or any other word that I don't. Yeah.
Hey, you must not listen to any rap music.
Well, I don't.
Yeah, that's expressive.
That's a separate topic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at look at the Eminem videos. Look at the look at the all these videos of rap. I mean, you want to talk about influence to violence in America. I mean, that comes right out of rap videos today. I mean,
yeah,
the rap, yeah,
the rap, the social. I mean, there was just a panel just the other day on Breitbart, right? Why do I use Breitbart a lot? Because Breitbart is not a network that expresses bias on their network. It centers out the bias. It literally gives you news, some news that you might not want to hear, but it's the truth. And that's what I'm about Breitbart. Breitbart just came out with a news segment the other day about the high numbers of violence here in America, linked to rap videos, violent video games. I mean, social media videos on TikTok and Instagram. A lot of it has to be influenced by all that crap.
Yeah.
So,
well, let me throw Joe a bone here. I'm sure he'll probably agree. I would say Breitbart has a conservative bias. They just don't have a Republican bias. Like me, I am a conservative first. I am Republican a very distant second. And I will call out Republicans any day of the week when I think they are wrong or they are stupid or they are indeed going too far. And Joe may be right. I may have stepped over the line and went a bit too far and got caught up in the moment and been a bit hyperbolic there. So,
you have that freedom of speech and you can say whatever you want to say. And that's the beauty of America. That is the best part of America, is you can say whatever you want. It's just about opening yourself up to both sides. Sorry, Mike.
Yeah. No, I was going to say, well, let's see what AOC has to hear about that.
Tell you a secret. Most people don't really know what capitalism is. Most people don't even know what socialism is. But most people are not capitalists because they don't have capitalist money. They're not billionaires. Sometimes the label doesn't matter as much as just talking about policies. That's easier to understand. Do you think people should die because they can't afford insulin? Do you think that fossil fuel CEO should decide whether the planet gets set on fire? Me neither. Unionize your workplace. Start a worker cooperative. If it's too extreme for working people to own the means of production, why is it okay for private billionaires to own the means of production?
Why is she whispering? Joe, why is she whispering, Joe?
Yeah, she doesn't understand what socialism.
Listen, the left will say
Biden there with the whispering.
The left will say has a message that she wants to display and she's going to get it out in front of everyone. And Donald Trump has done way weirder shit. The right will say, what the fuck was that? Why is she whispering? What is she talking about? She's just a bartender. So both sides, that's my job, is to say both sides. And
but that would be a deflection. We need to talk about the substance of what she said. Clearly, she doesn't understand socialism. She is clearly a socialist. She wants either the means of operation to be, it still would be privatized if the workers own it and ran it as a democratic process. They would be the owners. That is still owned by people who then get rich off profits. Or she would then want the fascists, where the Democrat Party mostly is today, through regulation. There is really no difference between a direct ownership of the government and companies or governments regulating to death corporations. It's control by government. But she was talking about having the workers of the world unite. Marxism, Leninism, if they owned it, they would be just like the board of directors. They would have votes to determine what they did, and they would have their own pocketbooks, their own profits at heart. This altruism of the workers is just ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's human nature.
So Rip View's point of view is, we'll show the left and the right. There's only so much I can say about AOC on the left and the right. I think I've said it all.
Yeah, beyond all that, what you said.
Mike?
No, I was leaving a panel. Hold on, Joseph. I was leaving a panel for Joe because I feel that Joe's not getting enough comments in, and I feel that I don't want to bury him on the show. I want to give him credit.
You're good. You're good. It's hard for me because I don't talk about my own views except for the right and the left, so it's very difficult for me to argue because I'm just going to give both sides. So, Joseph,
Joe, you're not breaking my heart, pal. I hope you know you're not breaking my heart. I know, Joe, you're not breaking Joseph's heart either because he's a diehard political figure, so to speak. He's got a great book out for those who have not yet read Joe's book. You can go over to strikes.info/buy. Hit that promo code Patriot Angle. You're going to get a good deal. Right, Joe?
Yeah. And Joe, I appreciate where you come from, and I can respect you as I can respect and disagree with liberals, classical liberals. We can have varying opinions. What I cannot respect is a leftist who wants to destroy the damn nation based on how we were founded. If you want to live under communism, get the fuck out of this country. Go to Russia, go to China, go to Cuba, go to Venezuela that you just destroyed with your leftist policies there.
Joseph, all I'll say is I'm going to buy your book. Cheers. Thank you very much for joining us on Michael's podcast. It's a pleasure to meet with you. I hope you open yourself to both sides. That's the whole point. We need to open ourselves to both sides. There's two sides to every story, and you got Rip Views to find the answer to that.
Oh, I see both sides. I watch CNN and MSNBC. I see the lies. I have to watch the lies in order to know how to counter them.
Joseph. Hold on. The fire's coming through the brimstone here. 1 second, buddy. I'm going to give. This is the part of the show where I'm going to give Joe of Rip Views the floor here, where they can follow him at, where they can find his content. The floor is all yours, Joe.
Yeah, ripviews.com. There's two sides to every story. Open your mind up. Don't be too blinded by the left. Don't be too blinded by the right. Go to ripviews.com and you'll see both sides to every story. Sign up for the daily newsletter. And that's the most efficient way to start your day with 3 stories from the left and the right. And that's how we're all going to make more conscious decisions.
That's good stuff for Joe. Thank you for coming on the show. And look out for us in a couple hours. We'll have the audio and the video podcast up and running. Thank you very much, sir.
Sounds great. Thanks, Mike.
All right. All righty, Joe. I wanted to continue on the show here for another 10, maybe possibly 15 minutes. I wanted to make that announcement to Joe there, Rip Views out of Chicago, Illinois. I didn't want to throw it at him like that we're trying to pretty much bury him or put him underneath the bus. I just felt that we were kind of destroying him a little bit, and I wanted to make that accurate. But I do respect Joe and what he does. He's a center balanced man. He keeps the content strong on his platform. He doesn't side with the right. He doesn't side with the left. He's a center man. He's right down the middle.
Yeah. No, and let me repeat again. I appreciate where Joe was coming from. I respect Joe. And let me plug his show again, Rip Views. Absolutely. As a person on the right, as a conservative, as a Republican, like I said, conservative first, Republican second. Plenty of rhinos I want to throw out of office too. I want you to see both sides too. Don't just watch the left or the right. I want you looking at the nuttiness coming from the left and the emotional hysterics they always deal in, and examine the facts, the evidence for yourself, and use logic and reason. You know, let your heart rule you when it comes to your spouse, not your politics. When it comes to your politics, you should be using your brain. Either you agree with the founders and we are a republic, which is where the term Republican comes from, people, because we believe in the founding of the nation as a republic, not democracy. Let your head rule the day when it comes to politics, and your love life, that's where your heart belongs. Now, which is not to say don't be cruel. I mean, I'm not trying to say that, and I think you and everybody understands that. You have to have a heart, and I'm a Christian. Love love your enemies, even as yourself. Be your brother's keeper. However, Jesus was not a socialist. Jesus did not say,
Joseph, you know what I think the problem is?
Another.
Yeah, you know what I think the problem is I think people, they want that one-sided to everything, you know, and you can't have that one-sided to everything. Everything is going to have a view. Everything's going to have an opinion. That's what this country represents. And people are trying to change that so fucking much in this country, and it cannot be changed.
Like
your view of what your viewpoint is, Joseph, is a lot different than the person down the street. That person down the street is going to be a lot different than you. And people want that one-sided viewpoint, and it cannot be like that. I think I understand what you mean. Yeah.
That's where Rip Views comes in. But again, now, like the saying goes, you're entitled to your own opinion. You're not entitled to your own set of facts. It's one thing to base your opinion on facts and evidence and policies that actually do what they're intended, like helping the poor, not just throwing money at everybody and people getting rich off that system. As a Christian, it is my duty to help those less fortunate, but it is a personal responsibility, not socialist government. Like I just said before, we kind of talked over each other. Jesus did not say steal from one to give to another. Give of yourself. Help. Have a heart, but use your fucking head in doing so. And that's why government closest to the people is what works. Your county and your municipality knows who the people are who are truly in need of a helping hand, as opposed to those constantly looking for a handout. That's why we are state sovereigns, not federal sovereign. Welfare at the federal level is unconstitutional. It shouldn't be eliminated. It belongs at the state and county level. So those of us on the right aren't cold-hearted and want people to starve to death. We want the rules of law and the people closest to the problem helping it, or local charities, my church, someone else's church, non-religious, non-political, non-profit organizations helping the poor, or like a crisis pregnant center, helping someone who is poor, who is having a baby, can't afford formula and diapers. That is our duty. It is not my place to say the federal government or even the state government should subsidize those things. Those are our personal responsibilities and should come from ourselves. The left, however, wants us to fund their baby killing. That's the difference. Charity versus government redistribution and socialism. That's where the left and right paradigm exists.
Yeah, I think this image here we're posting on the live stream, you know, we the people. Guys, I know it's not the full image, but I think just that image alone, we the people. I think that's what really go back to, Joseph, the principles of this foundation, of this country. When is that going to happen? It's starting to look like a fucking mirage. You ever watch those old movies of the Wild West where they're seeing something? Wow, that looks like a Sizzler where you can get a $5.99 buffet. Holy shit. They're seeing a mirage. The whole article I just posted on the show, We the People, that document is starting to look like a freaking mirage. It is. It's looking like a mirage because we're transforming into a different realm of a society. You have lunatics such as AOC that's stating some nonsense. We've heard before from her fucking Green New Deal, her stupid electric car scenario. Now the Democrats, oh yeah, electric cars are great. Electric cars are great. Electric cars are, yeah, okay. Well, when you break down on the fucking freeway, where the hell are you supposed to charge the damn thing? I'd rather walk, Joseph, 2 miles to the nearest exit to the gas station, fill up a gas bucket. If I can't find a gas bucket, go buy a freaking a hard plastic thing of Pepsi and fill it up that way. Do anything. Yeah. Go down the freaking freeway and fill my car up like it's supposed to, like it's intended to. This electric car shit is the most stupidest thing I ever heard in my life.
Yeah. Well, that goes back again, and I'm glad you stated it the way you did, and I'm glad you put up that. That is the left-right paradigm in a nutshell now. The right, republicanism, we the people, individual freedoms and personal responsibility versus the left who want to fundamentally transform America into everything is the government deals with it. The government solves it. That is not what this nation is meant to be like. And if you want a top-down government fascist nation, go somewhere else. Leave our damn country alone. It's the lazy wanting to extort from the productive. We the people. It is up to us. It's not up to government. And I was on Wham Radio just the other day, and we were discussing this topic. And a lot of where we gone wrong is when the 17th Amendment was ratified. It completely destroyed the point of the U.S. Senate, which was to be representative of state sovereign rights. The state legislatures appointed the senators for 6 years, and if a new regime came in your state legislature 6 years later, they could call that senator and replace them if they were not adhering to the point and purpose of being a senator, which was, again, to do the interests of the sovereign states, not the people. The 17th Amendment, direct elections, destroyed it. It turned it into another House of Representatives, but we don't teach civics in this country. Younger people are completely clueless. They have no understanding of the difference between a U.S. House of Representatives that were directly elected by the people and the U.S. Senate, which is supposed to be appointed by the states.
Yeah, I agree.
Part of the checks and balances.
Yeah.
They don't understand checks and balances. We are becoming
they don't understand a damn Joseph, they don't understand a damn thing. They really don't. They want an image in this country. They want this, they want that. Like I said, guys, you want change, it's going to come out of your voting ballots when the time comes. That's the true change that's going to change the course of this country.
Yeah, you put up AOC again, so let's go back to that whispering nonsense. People don't know what socialism is. We do know what socialism is. She doesn't. You said people want this and that. And that's it. They don't want to work for it. They don't want to earn it. They want to steal it from someone else. And she said people don't know what capitalism is. She's right. They don't understand what free markets are. That's what
you look at Alex Stein. Look at Alex Stein in the picture, folks, for those who are viewing live here. He's pointing out the true destructor, of the Democratic Party. This is the woman that's literally injecting her poison, and others, not just her, others. You got Omar, you got the rest of the squad, you got the crazy House Speaker, just to name a few. These are the sick, deluded mental cases, such as AOC. He's pointing, folks. This Alex Stein is pointing where the problem is. The problem is right on the sidewalk, folks, right there. That's where the problem is.
Yeah, let me finish my point about free markets, because capitalism is a pejorative Marxist term. We have free markets, or at least we used to. We don't anymore. We have a lot of crony capitalism going on. Democrat Party, like the Green New Deal, is all about crony capitalism, money laundering. They launder money from the taxpayers, give it to people they want, like solar panel companies, who then in turn give money back to the Democrats in the form of campaign donations. Then they go bankrupt, and all those precious workers they pretend to care so much about are all out of a job. So that's
but
what
you think that's why she was whispering, Joseph? Do you think that's why she was whispered in that video that I plugged in? Because she doesn't understand a damn thing about capitalism or socialism. She's like, why are you whispering? If people, this is what I came to understand. People that whisper usually don't know what the hell they're talking about. They have to whisper so they don't make themselves look like a jackass on live television or a podcast or any type of telecast type of scenario. Here's the thing.
That is the pseudo intellectualism of our ruling elites, and AOC is part of those ruling elites. They talk down. They're whispering at us. They are treating us like we are the ignorant ones, when she couldn't pass an Economics 101 class if her life depended on it.
Oh, no. You know the reason why she got in, she got in as a congresswoman is because of certain talking points that she put in. I'm going to give the credit where it's due. She's a smart girl. She may play dumb on camera, but she's smart. She literally went on her campaign and she said things at the precise moment of time. And that's what passed AOC. That's what passed her into Congress as a Congress. She said it at the right time, and she knew what to say, when to say it, to get the attention of voters in that district there in Bronx.
She's smart in a con man sense.
Yeah,
she's
the con man, yeah.
At conning people.
Yeah. That's people that usually that were born in a rough community, born within the streets. They know how to con people out. They know how to manipulate people. She grew up. I knew where she grew up. She grew up in Queens, Bronx, New York. One of the roughest turfs of New York City is in Bronx and Queens. Those two boroughs are probably the most dangerous, corrupted boroughs of all of New York.
Yeah, but to go back, and her being part Latina didn't hurt either. Again, because she beat a seated congressperson, but she is indeed a con artist. She's good at, like a Nigerian prince trying to separate you from your money. And this is what it's all about on the left. Stealing money from you to put into their pockets, because they cannot and will not work an honest day's living and start a business of their own, build it from scratch, put their blood, sweat, and tears into it for years, like Elon Musk did, a real African-American.
Yeah, they've been doing it for years.
Yep. The only way they can get money is to steal it from others. And let's mention other con man Bernie Sanders, who claims to profess to be absolute socialist and person of the people, and talked about taxing millionaires and billionaires.
Oh, don't say that to Tommy Nation.
Now he only says he wants to tax billionaires because why? He's a millionaire. He has 3 multi-million-dollar mansions and a Lamborghini. He's a fraud. He's a fake. He's just lining his pockets from suckers.
Hey, let's get in this last segment here as we close it out here, Joseph. I'm getting a lot of reports. I'm seeing a lot of reports on social media trying to kind of changing the tides. You know, we're getting into Bernie Sanders. We're getting into a possible run-up for president. A lot of people are pointing the finger for the new Democratic nominee for 2024. They know that Joe Biden probably will not most likely continue for his re-election in 2024. He'll be well over 80 years old by then. A lot of people are pointing the finger to California's Gavin Newsom. You see him running for 2024?
Yeah, I really do. In the other broadcast, you played that ad. If you got that video, it'd be great to run again about his idiotic campaign ad that he's not playing in California, where he's got people bamboozled. Speaking of con artists, he's running it in Florida, where the crime rate is low in Florida. It's out of control in California. Homelessness out of control in California. Florida's a warm weather state, but they don't quite have the problem. California, high tax state. Florida, no income tax. I mean, there's no comparison. But he's saying Florida people come to California for freedom? What, freedom to die at the hands of criminals they keep letting back out on the street to murder and rape and riot and loot and commit arson again? Over and over and over again? Do you got that video?
Yeah, we're gonna plug it in. Yeah.
Yeah, I see you looking around for it. Hopefully people are watching on Twitch or on my YouTube channel so they can see it. Yeah. Believe me, folks, it's worth this little awkwardness for you to see this report out of Sacramento, California, of all places, the Sacramento station calling out Gavin Newsom on his idiocy and clear fail to the top, like always happens with the Democrats. You fail over and over and over again. What do Democrats do? They promote the failures, which goes back to what we were saying before. Let's go back to the Bible. You shall know them by their fruit. Don't give me this garbage about what I'm saying or what Mike's saying or the other Joe was saying. Look at results, what people have actually accomplished or failed to accomplish.
Starting today, Gupsum has a new campaign ad airing, but not here in California. It's airing in Florida.
Uh-oh, it froze on us, huh? Hopefully you could get it to reload.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not going to cooperate.
Yeah, we're gonna try. What's that?
It's not going to cooperate with us.
No. We're gonna try to mess around with it to see possibly about bringing it into play. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an important story to see. But again, it's the left and right paradigm again. You know, I respect where Joe is coming from, and I agree. Look at both the far left and the far right and dismiss them both. They're nuts. Look at policy. Don't listen to their intentions. Look at results. You shall know them by their fruit.
Yeah, we actually have the video here, Joseph. We're going to plug it in, guys. This is literally Gavin Newsom literally launching this campaign, not in California, but in Florida.
Today, Governor Newsom has a new campaign ad airing, but not here in California. It's airing in Florida. Thanks for joining us for Fox 40 News at 5:30. I'm Eric Harriman. Nikki has the day off. That move is renewing a lot of questions about Newsom's potential plans for a future presidential run. Fox 40 Capitol reporter Ashley Zavala explains.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America.
Governor Gavin Newsom's re-election campaign dropping its latest ad on 4th of July. But instead of speaking to California voters, the ad is airing nearly 3,000 miles away in Florida on Fox News cable zones across that state.
Freedom? It's under attack in your state.
Newsom taking aim at Florida Governor Ron DeSantis and his efforts to ban abortion, limit free speech in class, and tighten voting restrictions. DeSantis has been considered a potential front-running Republican candidate for president in 2024.
Or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom.
The ad setting off political fireworks and raising questions about Newsom's future beyond California. Stephen Maviglio is a Democratic strategist.
I think it's a really smart investment. I mean, for $100,000, he's getting $1 million worth of national publicity. You know, there's a lot of buzz these days about Joe Biden not running again, who will run. And I think Gavin Newsom certainly wants his name in that running. And this is one way to guarantee that.
But Newsom has recently said he has sub-zero interest in running for president.
I think the governor's smart enough to realize his name is still on the ballot this year to run for governor of California. And even though it's going to be a cakewalk, I think he doesn't want to take that for granted with voters. So it's just something to say. I mean, anybody who spent 5 minutes with the guy knows he has, one eye always looking at that Oval Office.
Meanwhile, DeSantis has not directly responded to the ad. His campaign spokesperson told CNN Gavin Newsom might as well light a pile of cash on fire. Pass the popcorn for his desperate attempt to win back the California refugees who fled the hellhole he created in his state to come to Florida. In Sacramento, Ashley Zavala, Fox 40 News.
Yeah, that's perfect. And let's talk about books. They're not being banned in Florida. They want to make sure that inappropriate pornographic and pedophilia material is not placed before your grade school kids. So let's be real. Let's talk about banned books. It is the left and the teachers' unions that banned Huck Finn, Tom Sawyer, Catcher in the Rye, To Kill a Mockingbird, classics that we have always taught to spur discussions about racism and race and, prejudice and things of that nature. They've replaced reading, writing, and arithmetic, the 3 R's as we used to call them, with radicalism and raunch in our schools.
Yeah. Yeah, they've been doing this, like I said, Joseph, they've been doing this for years.
It just gets worse and worse, and thank God, in a sense, for the lockdowns. As the saying goes, I'm not trying to push my Christianity on anybody here when I say this. There's a lot of people who aren't religious use the term too. But for the grace of God go I. It was almost a miracle that the lockdowns occurred because it really, truly exposed all this stuff.
Yeah, it's doing it every single day. Joseph, we're going to close it up here, buddy. Thank you for coming on. I want to thank Rip Views Media. Joe, thank you of Rip's Media of Chicago, Illinois, coming on the show. Thank you very much. True honor. And hope to see more of Rip Views. I know he's a fairly new content creator, and he's just launched his podcast, which I happened to be on the very first pilot episode So thank you very much. It's a true honor being on your very first episode.
So
I hope to see more episodes come out.
So he had you on as the right-wing loon on his left-right paradigm?
Pretty much, yeah. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, I was being drilled by an extreme leftist that he had on his show. This guy Sean, and yeah, he tried to rip me on the whole Roe v. Wade and everything else, and that's remember I had on the show just a couple weeks ago with you. This is the same guy that was on Rip Views saying that that there's more than one gender,
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy is a fucking crazy man.
Yeah. They deny basic biology, but yet they want us to believe them on this, the world is going to melt in 10 years baloney. I mean, there has always been climate change, always has been, always will be. It mostly has to do with solar cycles and solar flares. Mankind is not spewing more pollution than happened when one volcano erupts in a given year, and yet the planet survives those. So, I mean, they just can't deal with science. They only deal in emotional hysterics. And again, I want people to view both the right and the left.
Oh, absolutely.
And then use logic and reason. Verify, trust but verify, like Reagan used to say. Don't take my word for anything. Do some of your own damn research and see that the left is lying and I am dealing in facts. Now, that's not to say there aren't some on the right who don't lie and aren't dealing in absurdity too. I'm not saying that. Joe is correct in that. There are loons on both sides. And
sure. Guys, add on the show here, the great Joseph M. Leonard, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you very much, Joe. And we'll see you. We'll see you on the next one. But I got to get going. Thank you very much for tuning in, guys. Remember to hit that follow button on all major platforms. Remember to follow us on our audio platforms, whether you hear us on Spotify, Google, Apple, including Amazon and Amazon Alexa. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week.
All right, love you.